What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Nerdgasm, and today we're going to be going over Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 4, Episode 17. This episode was really good, and I'm loving what they're doing with the framework, guys. I'm loving how they're dealing with everything going on and this whole what-if crazy, this stuff never happened scenario, and just let's talk about it, because I'm going to get less excited as I talk about some of the messed up stuff. Let's start out with something that I knew was going to hurt from the promo, Mack and his little baby girl, Hope. I told you that this was going to be one of those things that Mack will go bananas over once he gets out of the framework. Or maybe if he gets out of the framework. We don't even know if everybody's going to survive this season. Mack's daughter is a tech genius and loves robots and building stuff just like her dad. The love is strong with these two. And Mack finally has just this perfect little girl that parents would love to have. And she even builds drones faster than he does. By the way, I love that Fitz is this crazy Inhuman doctor in the framework, but his love of building and his drones are still alive and well. Even if they are being used for evil, I love that he has his drones. His drones were like his little babies. Now they're little evil babies. The thing that sucks is that Aida knew exactly where Mack was, obviously, and she uses Mack's daughter to get him to set up Daisy. We get this sense of, yay, Mack remembers and things will start going well for everyone, and no, they will not. It was a setup, and it just pushed Mack into the #1 slot for most fucked with S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. Aida seriously needs to die today. The only good news we get with Mack is that at the end of the episode, he finds S.H.I.E.L.D. and he brings the team that much closer to being together again. But still, why is Mack getting beat on so hard? Next, we see a hilarious side of Coulson for most of the episode, actually. Last episode, I thought he remembered everything because he said Daisy when they were in the car, but this way is actually a lot better. Coulson has fragments of his memory from the real world, and it's mixed up with the memories from the framework. Apparently, this version of Coulson makes his own soap because he says the blue soap mind controls people. So the messed up memories are making him mix the effects of the Kree blood and the brainwashing of the framework together, making this whole I make my own soap Coulson. And I love the fact that civilian Coulson would make his own soap because he knew there was a conspiracy in the world. It's crazy, like survivalist Coulson is crazy, I love it. The rest of the episode, he does a great job acting a little crazy and fanboying over things like the Patriot and the S.H.I.E.L.D. base that they go to. The whole fanboying over the Patriot thing is just kind of like how he fans over Captain America. But since Captain America clearly isn't here in this world, you gotta take what you can get. So, fanboy over Patriot. Speaking of the Patriot, I love that we got to see the Patriot have a way more rugged, battle-hardened leader look. He looked way tougher and he even sounded more in charge. Like how the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. should sound when he's not a puppet for the government, being given evil juice to, seem inhuman. Even his suit looked cooler on him. Also, I loved how Coulson was like, I love the suit. It looks better than the versions that I came up with. And I don't think this was on purpose, but I think it sounds like the writers were trying to promote their own suit. Like, we love the suit and it's badass. And just because it doesn't look like the comic book version of the Patriot doesn't mean anything, because it's still awesome. I mean, that's just how, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I think that the writers were standing up for themselves, and they should, because the Patriot suit is awesome. TV stuff looks better when you don't make it look all spandexy, okay? They know that their version was super dope. The one thing I thought was unnecessary was the fact that they had this dramatic-ass turn for no reason. They get Coulson and Gemma to the S.H.I.E.L.D. base, and then they take these hoods off of them, and they're like, okay, let's get you to turn around dramatically, and everybody else will be looking at them except for you, Patriot. The mystery was over. Like, we don't need you to dramatic turn around. Like, when they take the hoods off, just be standing right there, all right? That's it. Just get, come on. Something that we do learn from the Patriot, though, is that Koenig is dead. He said Billy Koenig, and if you guys remember, Billy Koenig was one of the crazy Koenig brothers that there's like a ton of them, and only one of them's a girl. There's a sister, Koenig, but the rest of them are all boys who look exactly alike, and they're played by Patton Oswalt. I don't know if they're all dead or if it's just this one Koenig, but I don't like a world where a Koenig is still dead. Like, are you serious? In the real world, a Koenig died, and then you had to come into the framework, and a Koenig is dead, and it's just, it hurts. It hurts, all right? It was too much. She went too far. Aida did too much in this world. She convinced Fitz that they're together, and it bothered me that when she showed Fitz the tablet with Gemma's photo on it, it didn't snap him out of the mind control. To make matters worse, he used the travel across the universe line on Aida, and that is Gemma's line. That bitch is taking everything. She really does have just this large ego, and I'm not talking about the planet, even though her ego is definitely bigger than ego. When she gets to the island where Radcliffe is, she gets angry when Radcliffe calls her Aida. This crazy trick has convinced herself that in the framework, she is alive. She even believes that what she's doing is valid and in no way crazy. But I guess crazy people don't usually admit to being crazy. She even convinced Fitz that the real world is a sort of mirror world where she was a slave and S.H.I.E.L.D. winning the war was a bad thing. I can't handle this girl. She needs to be shotgun axed. Moving on, we get some funny and sad stuff with Radcliffe when they go to the island. When he sees Ward, he calls him Hive, and the reaction was hilarious because I'm pretty sure he would never want to run into that crazy Inhuman after what he did. But it was a great scene for the first time he meets Ward, or at least a computer version of Ward. We also find out that he invented a cure for Inhumans, which I loved because of his past work with Hive. I mean, he was creating Inhumans and causing this whole problem that Hive would have taken over the world, and in the framework, he was the inventor of a freaking cure. Unfortunately, in this case, an Inhuman cure is about as terrible as a mutant cure. It's purely created out of fear and hate. But one of the things that sucked and is probably the saddest moment of this episode is when Aida shows up with Fitz and Hydra and they're trying to find the SHIELD agents. She gets Fitz to do something that I never thought was possible. He straight up blows a hole through the real Aida. I don't have anything for this guy. I don't. This was sad, and it really cements how far Fitz has fallen into the framework. I'm scared that this is going to cause the framework to have a tighter hold on Fitz. We even get a sense of this at the end of the episode when he goes to torture Daisy for being Inhuman, and he doesn't look confused or worried or like something is wrong or maybe Daisy's telling the truth. He looks like he knows exactly what he's doing and who he is and that he's okay with everything going on, even though all of this stuff is completely fake. Speaking of Daisy, we get a great fight scene with Daisy. It wasn't anywhere near as long as the Captain America scene, but it's still pretty satisfying. She gets into this fight in the elevator, and all I could think of was Captain America Winter Soldier, yes, in the Triskelion, because apparently they have a thing for elevator fights in the Triskelion, just like they have a thing for knife fights. If you don't know what I'm talking about the fact that Winter Soldier, there's a knife fight, and then in the new Thor trailer, there's a knife fight. But I want to talk about what the heck is up with this dude cowering in the corner. I thought he was protecting this guy. No, this guy was straight up terrified in the corner and not helping out his friends. Seriously, it was just sad. Hydra needs to step their game up in the soldier department. I really hope Daisy gets her powers back, because being tortured isn't something I really want to see in the next episode. We've seen in other seasons how Inhumans get tortured and experimented on by Hydra, and they don't usually survive. It's a terrifying process. It left most of them dead. Even I thought Lincoln was going to die that one season when he got captured. So if she is going to get tortured, then we need to see the SHIELD agents perform some kind of Avengers level rescue immediately. Last thing we're going to talk about, guys, is the Wall of Valor that's in the SHIELD base. All of the names only have the first initial and the last names, but I figured out what they were doing. Some of those names are people who write Marvel issues and work on the show. George Kitson, Ryan Moose, John Miller. I didn't look for every name, but I found enough. I did it for you guys. I loved it. I love when they give credit and shout outs to people who work within the Marvel family. It shows you how creative and how nice and caring everyone is there. I mean, I don't know. I don't work there. But in the show, what we see is great. They seem like they care a lot about all the people that work there, and I love it. And this whole episode really pumps up what's going to be happening next episode. More framework, more craziness, more epicness, more fights, more people trying to get their loved ones back, and hopefully no more screwing with Mack and his daughter. Please don't do it. Just leave Mack alone. Go mess with someone else. Just don't have to kill him to do it. Please, guys. Come on. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Let me know what you thought about this episode. Let me know what you guys think about next episode. And let me know if you want to see Daisy get her powers back, or maybe because she's in the framework, she gets brand new powers just to mess with us. That'd be great. What if we see Trip? We're not going to see Trip, but it'd be, what if we did? I'm getting excited about nothingness. Like I'm being ridiculous. I'm sorry, guys. But thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting the channel. I love you guys. And if you're new, think about sticking around and hitting that subscribe button. I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.